Look, notes. 3. By Billy McBride. Copyright symbol 2020, by Billy McBride. All rights reserved. I am Cloud Hegel, who are you? Cloud Hegel. So I can do that in the kingdom? Benevouver. I am interesting now, right? Benevouver. Writers. Tov shalom. Sorry, me no speak scientifico. Benevouver. So there are better things to do than to enjoy myself. Billy silly. Would you like to say something, dear? Billy silly. Yes, we could, but not out of turn. Ora tiferet. I can't forget about old OOT. Billy silly. They were either atabos, illiterates or super smart when they were recorded. Diana. Why'd he write down atabos? MacGyver. Sorry MacGyver, I only write down interesting quotes. Billy silly. And, I don't always have time to listen correctly if I am trying to be awesome, and succeeding. Billy silly. Theseus and Hippolyta. Kabbalah. I, well, feel that they have been an influence. Billy silly. If they cared, they would be talking to us. Billy silly. Or about us. Tobspieb. Did I not dance with you at Brabant once? Lady MacGyver. I cannot hear can't. Teresa. For sure. Elaine. If they wanted to go to heaven, they would talk to us, joking. Billy silly. Maybe we are in heaven. Mac. Oh. Billy silly. Actresses and actors don't just say lines, they gesture too. Ora tiferet. 1. MacGyver. -1. Tov shalom. 0. MacGyver. Oh. MacGyver. He. MacGyver. He thinks he knows me. MacGyver. Now look what you've started. Diana. I see what you've started. Bruce. Writers. Tov shalom. Head palm. Bruce. Gestures. Billy silly. Directors. Bruce. Maybe he thinks I'm an actor. Bruce to Lady MacGyver. Agon. Lady MacGyver. Sorry, we are now reading the Bible, and a map of misreading. Grouchy. Why? MacGyver. When you can read Shakespeare. Lady MacGyver. Hey. Billy silly. Say something funny about calculus, please. Penelope. Go for it. Tov shalom. I can do that, but by the time I finished it will be a quote. Billy silly. What's wrong with that? Lady MacGyver. Is it not obvious? Billy silly. I am with gum. Billy silly. Sorry, the Bible we are reading, not Agon or otherwise than a map of misreading. Billy silly. I know what you are thinking. Tov shalom. Come on, I know you like to talk, but well, I need to be the star. My night depends upon it. Billy silly. Starshine, they can't wait to listen to everybody speaking about other things not as interesting as ever. Billy silly. Moneybags. Tov shalom. 9. MacGyver, exactly when Billy writes the number 6. Would the problem be there is no problem as far as the ear can hear, but that the eye still sees itself as incompatible with the ear and, voila, Houston, we have a problem? Billy silly. Keep going. MacGyver to Billy when he is writing. $1 billion versus $1 billion always ends in a stalemate. Aura. No, he's talking to her. Lisbeth, when MacGyver said everybody knows you. To Lady MacGyver. I am a 19. Sally. Sorry, I already know my own memories. They again. Billy silly. About there being no problems. Billy silly. I don't know is the most ignorant thing to say. Billy silly. I don't know will be my most ignorant thing that I will say. Billy silly. You can look for it when I have said all I can say. Billy silly. Just let me know if I am wrong. Billy silly. Yes, illusion can work for the good of the council. Lisbeth. When I say I got them wrong, was that just an interpretation? Benevouver. The struggle to imagine is easier to win than lose. Think about it. Tov tov shalom. Who else is as fit to say what is to come, being that with angels I am fit? Billy silly. It doesn't mean it will come, however, just saying it will. Lisbeth. It always does though. Billy silly. The filling words are in the air. Ariel. Mirror mirror in my where? Billy silly. Room. Teresa. An invisible is imagined, and I see myself as an actor at play. Billy silly. Literary criticism. Marion. Rephrase what you just said, Benevouver. Teresa. I've got all day to rephrase, but it has never been more important now than ever to do just that. Benevouver. That force, if forced, is what we call antiphrasing. Grouchy. If not forced, if true to the speed at which it comes, it is the reward of thinking better. Elaine. Yes, I would rather talk over and above than be irrelevant. Doing what you do not wish me to do. Billy silly. That is to say, I said what you did not, and I believe it will be beyond average. Billy silly. If at which the speed of thought does not equal the speed of diction, then we have broken the apparatus from which the thoughts come into the light. Billy silly. Light is crucial only when a beautiful idea is shay. There are two but made one by relevance, but relevance will not be remembered if they come spontaneously. Jaffa. That is my conclusion too. Billy silly. The theory is the practice that will be asserted ever since we have been talking. Grouchy. What is this mode of mood that I, a Benevouver, have yet to overcome? Benevouver. I just, well, need some time to cry. That is a quote for Chester but not for me. Benevouver. He wasn't quoting, you were, him of his shay. Let's be more specific. Billy silly. That is what I've been trying to say all along. Billy silly. Did I just write my name over, instead of my wife's? Billy silly. Tov. Thrickbot. They were standing up, hidden not to the crowd there as one, so many alone joined in exclusion from things earthbound, now in the air by the flare of lights, little in the darkness brighter, closed off from the once opened gate. Shut whence they came, far away, blocked by a tall tower. Looking downward, being looked at by those wiser, more reliable than those fools, who thought they were not so. Diana. I guess there is a universe after all, Thrickbot and Parak. Move his head, or that's not the subject matter. Billy silly in the morning dazed. Or did I pop out of existence, though I can still see where I am in my body and surroundings? Billy silly. It was the built-up narrative that was erased to record your dream, I am afraid. Parak. I see. I don't get a choice in the matter. Billy silly. Find some narrative freedom. Ariel. It was also Milton's Satan's speech on quickening power that ended the fun. Ariel. He can overcome by Milton's narrative. Billy silly. But how do you overcome Milton's narrative? Elaine. Shakespeare, his own nihilism? Billy silly. You mean in Timon of Athens or A Winter's Tale, or ever the Two Gentlemen of Verona? Amy. Yes, I think Shakespeare is the origin of Milton, but without being so that it causes deformity of thought in his readers. Billy silly. Ha 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 ha. Ariel. Wikipedia the math functions and operations. Kelly. Talk about having Davidsonian dialogues. Elaine. What happens to prayer if only interesting things are praised? Or asked for? Billy silly. You and God and Davidsonian dialogues. Billy silly. Schizophrenics would like Davidsonian implications, we all would. Benevu. Is that tool timeless? Shay. That's what toolboxes are for. Billy silly. People could have lost track of God because they're praying. Bored them to death. Honey. Obligations are in toolboxes, but they are at the bottom of them. Elaine. 1 billion over 5 years or 1 billion over 5 years. Another way. Jaffa. That's prayer entropy. Jaffa. Religious evolutionary spirituality, the science of what is possible here. Billy silly. Musical scales are octaves. Billy silly. So what? Amy. Preparation for more awesomeness to come. Billy silly. Amy bows his head. What sort of personality will I have if I study physics and math and other sciences for a while? Billy silly. Metaphor, the wish to be elsewhere. Donna. The hydromancy of Jenny McBride and contentment. Elaine. Maybe love goes beyond metaphor, or being loved. Aura. Impressive. Bertha. Popping into equilibrium and gnosis. Grouchy. Open channels by which to receive a series of notes. Shay. Maybe I should do some religious writing? Billy silly. Riskines, like hope was high, that. Teresa. Return of the dead. Elaine. Hey, that also means return to deadness. Bertha. Degrees of sophistication with angels, and channeling them. Benevu. Pursue that. Teresa. People shine, they pop into experience to shine like angels. Lisbeth. You can find them rewarding too. Today is different than yesterday. There are different interactions which will take place. Elaine. Let's imagine M.O.T now exists. Several ways for it to have gotten there are possible. And, if M.O.T is out there someplace, then charity money is being filtered by distribution through it to charities. And, I am a liberal, so I act, not contemplate, from thoughts, and reform is what I see as my purpose. Benevu. M.O.T could have been constructed, or it could have come into existence by particles randomly arranging themselves. Both are likely. Jaffa. Do I want to prove either one? Benevu. Those concerned with M.O.T mean a monitoring of a better future by means of charity. Jaffa. You know you could just always ask us angels if things for other people are better, and if you can help at times help them. Bertha. Thank you. Jaffa, when Billy remembers to ask them. They, many others, are not interacting. Diana. They are not interesting, even if they are clones, though they are not. Jaffa. Them interacting would be more interesting. Diana. Deja vu. Billy Silly. Redscriptions of musical performances. Shay. That's the Golden Girl. Teresa. 3,000 songs, a description a day, around 8 years to complete, or 10 with added songs. Grouchy. They are hard to bookmark. Kelly. Room Boom is the Golden Girl. Lisbeth. Room Boom is interaction with the music, talking / thinking. To the children, angel players, in live time, or dancing or writing about it. Diana. ABRIA. Marion. Bernard. Honey. Make T's sound pattern in a new song. The children in the music, as it plays. Buy our book, Butthead. The music the children play. They technically are the band. Diana. One out of many, 80+. Ariel. Make a movie. Elaine. I've got tools for interaction too. Ariel. A map on 2 is like what of ours? Teresa. This. Billy Silly. Christmas Eve 1987. I stayed awake all night in utter anticipation. I was bad. What is all I could have done to be happy then? Billy Silly. Finus.